Phil from Digital DJ Tips here, and I'm at the BPM Show 2015. I've just grabbed a good friend of mine, great DJ and producer, 25 years in the game, and a little bit, I'd say, probably Paul. This is Paul Dakeyne, and the reason I've grabbed Paul is he is, apart from a very successful guy who's had a very long career in DJing and producing music, apart from that, he's always been forward-looking. He now runs a very popular iTunes radio show. It couldn't have happened 5 years ago. He's a forward-looking guy, but he's got some really interesting things to say about looking back in order to be a better DJ. I guess that's probably the right way of framing it. And it's got some 3 points that even today's most modern, most technology-savvy digital DJs are going to be really interested to hear, because in your view, Paul, these 3 points are things that can really improve your DJ and get you sounding the very best, and keep you on top of your game, keep you engaging audiences. And actually, they're surprisingly pretty timeless things that you're about to share with us. So I thought they were a great set of simple points and some interesting ideas and some interesting observations, if you like.
Yeah.
So let's start with your first one, which is uncompressed audio.
Uncompressed audio, yeah. Eventually, I think in a few years' time, from a DJ perspective, the MP3 will be a dirty word, or a dirty couple of words. This is a 20-odd-year-old format. It's compressed audio. The sound systems that DJs play on these days are so sophisticated. It seems kind of crazy that they're playing compressed audio that is lacking certain frequencies. There's no reason why the WAV, the AIF, the FLAC format should not become ubiquitous in the next few years, as in completely eradicating for DJ use the MP3. The MP3 should stay a consumer product format and remain that. But for DJs, let's think of quality. Let's put the full frequency of sound back into those incredible sound systems, make your DJ performance sound better, make the crowd's experience better, and when you get into production, you can start utilizing these full frequency formats all the time. There's no excuse to stay with MP3 anymore.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because there's a lot of services, a lot of times where you can't get uncompressed audio files. The best you can get is the 320 MP3. And until recently, it has been the case that storage hasn't been big enough for a lot of people to be able to take all the WAV files they want to with them. But we all know the law that kind of every few years, everything doubles in size. And so what you're saying is you think we're reaching the point where it won't matter anymore.
No, it won't, because the MP3 format was compressed to accommodate the storage capacity and the
20 or 30 years ago, 20 years ago.
You know, this is 2015. So yeah, let's just get rid of, for DJs, let's get rid of the MP3 and the AAC at 256 and 320. Let's get WAV, let's get FLAC, let's get AIFF, whatever the future is, let's get full frequency.
Point number 2 is actually connected, but this is really interesting, and it's to do with a very old format, actually, the CD. So far away.
Okay, the CD thing, basically. When the CDs were first mooted by record labels, one particular very outspoken executive says, why the heck, he didn't use the word heck, why the heck are we making these things, these CDs? We are in effect giving the master tapes of our product to the consumer.
Because of the quality, because the quality is so high compared to, say, a vinyl pressing.
This is a digital, long-term archivable reproduction of a master tape from a record company.
Whereas no different to what left the studio.
Exactly. With vinyl, obviously, you've got the crackle, the pop, the clicks and bangs, and the surface noise, and it wears out. It doesn't have the the longevity. But the important thing is that my reason for talking about this tip number 2 being about the CD. First of all, there's the comment that the record executive made that the consumer doesn't realise, but as DJ producers, we've evolved audio engineering skills which let us pluck that full frequency file on a WAV or an AIFF, and then we can apply our 2015 mastering techniques, compression, not brick walling, but sort of subtle compression, limiting, make this track sound amazing. So, I mean, for my show, I remaster 35-year-old CD,
tracks from the original CD.
Yeah, or 20-year-old, 25-year-old, whatever. But the thing is that, and also my pointer as well, is for DJs to have a look for the original CD pressing not the of an album, of a track, of a collection of tracks, not the 2010 plus remastered version, which have been brick-walled, limited, etc.
So go to iTunes, buy an album. It's going to be an inferior version to the original CD.
Yeah.
So your tip really is if you want to play older material that was once available on CD, that's going to be the best version you'll find anywhere.
And then remaster it with your own 2015. It's like the record company say, "Hey, Mr. DJ, here's the master tape for Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On. Thank you very much. I'll have that, and I will then apply my mastering techniques to it, and I'll be able to play it." Or also, when people are doing these kind of new disco edits, etc., that you find appearing, you've got the most pristine quality from the very start.
For your own re-edits, for mashing up, or even just for DJing with. And even if you don't remaster it, you just use it as is. It's better than buying this stuff today digitally. Because
and the sort of third thing of point number 2, i.e. the CD thing, is redundancy and backup. If I was DJing every single weekend on a laptop with hard drives, USB sticks, I would always have a CD, a physical CD of some kind of get out of jail free card tune. So, if anything happens to the computer, I've got that physical CD thing. In the Japanese market, streaming is like yay big, and CDs are like yay big. The popularity of the physical, it's not just a sentimental, I want to have a physical ownership of this. There's now a reason for DJs to hunt out CDs like this, and also to carry on burning them and using your own thing, even for a safety factor. So there's many. Let's give the CD the respect it deserves.
Okay, so the CD is not quite dead yet.
I don't think so.
And your third point, which is another very interesting one.
The third point for me is the let's tame the technology. We have stems, being access to 4 broken down parts of an original track. We have multi-effects, we have beat mashers, we have sample players, Let's look at the relationship between the DJ and the crowd, okay? We are actually going to take a shift back to where people are going to start dancing again, and I mean not jumping up and down in the air or checking the smartphones, they're going to dance, because things will change and go round to that.
Pendulum's always swinging, always moving.
Cyclical, right? Okay, so let's tame the technology, utilize all these amazing, if I'd have known what was coming in the future, I'd have freaked out, but I would, let's spend time in the studio, learn to use these things, but use them with respect. All of these things are a surgeon's scalpel. Use it with precision, don't yield it like an axe murderer, because the crowd don't want to be bombarded with somebody audio juggling. You'd be like, oh my God, he's just indulging himself up there. They want to hear the tune. If you can do a few tricks, great. But use the technology, tame the technology, and use it with respect.
Interesting point, this one, because these tools are great, but even the people who make them don't really know the best way of using them, because they're brand new. They're always evolving. So it's up to us. To give them the respect, to give the original music the respect it deserves.
Let's put the pause button on and go, let's look at what we've got. And
are we adding to it? What
are we adding to the experience of my relationship as a DJ to the crowd? Am I actually
improving
people by, bang, crash, wall up, it's like, whoa, put the brakes on, let's look at the technology, keep an eye on what is evolving, but utilize it and wield it with respect to that relationship between the crowd and the DJ.
Awesome. Well, 3 great points. Nice to hear your views as ever, Paul. Thank you for popping by and giving them to us. And have a good holiday. You're off on holiday tomorrow, right?
Thank you.
This has been Phil at Digital DJ Tips.